Sa GC natin, dami kasing GC eh. GC ng ano. Okay. Ako na lang magpo-post dun sa ano nga yun, MHPSS. Para ano, on time tayo. Kasi kahapon, super late tayo. So ito naman ngayon, ahead of time, ayan. So 3:54, marami ng bata ang nagme-message. So standby.
In a few moments, we're going to
Imagine you live in a small town. You have lived here all your life. You don't have much, but it is enough. Suddenly, your whole life is swept away in an instant. You have to run. And even when you reach safety, you can't stop thinking about your losses. It's nearly impossible to imagine the future. Of course, you need food, water, and a roof over your head. But psychosocial support and perspective are just as important. Support can take different shapes. You may want to share your experiences. Some people need special care. Additional attention may help children to cope with their feelings, to gain trust and make friends. Extra measures can help you feel secure again. Worldwide, almost 70 million people have been forcibly displaced, the highest number in decades. More than 1 in 5 people affected by conflict have a mental health condition. They have lived through terrible experiences. Together we can and must do better. We need to combine our knowledge and strengths to give these people the urgent support they need. Mental health and psychosocial support is a necessity in any humanitarian response, essential to rebuild lives and societies.
A pleasant afternoon, Fogosians. We, the Bird Club officers, together with the SDRRM team, welcomes you all to the Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services with the webinar series with the theme Hitting the Goal Amidst Pandemic, a Guide for Goal Setting.
Today's Today is our second day of our webinar series, having the topic Forming Your Personal SWOT Analysis.
I am Francesca Lorraine Sifurin, the Bird Club's Sergeant of Arms.
And I am Gilliard Timothy M. Samonte, the Treasurer of Bird Club, serving you as the
Masters of Ceremony.
Ceremonies. To formally start this remarkable event, we would like to invite you to sing our nationalistic song, to be followed by an invocation which will be presented through an audio-visual presentation.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw ito'y buhay. Upang hinirang, tuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisikin, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ng bangaw, ay hinatang tulakaw, isang pagkayang minamahal, ang isang lang pagkawat mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang pintuin at araw niya kailan, ang ay di matitindig, lumang ang araw ng warhagit pagsingkang, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng kantay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Our Heavenly Father, the fount of all goodness and grace, the cause of wisdom, the source of intelligence, we welcome you, O Lord, to this auspicious gathering of your beloved, who continuously give you thanks for every opportunity to learn something new and become fruitful to the works of your creation. We humbly come to you, not because we are worthy, but because we find ourselves in need of you, who is our strength and our hope, to continue despite the challenges we face in health, prosperity, and our solidarity with one another. We pray that today's gathering, made possible by the grace of advancements in technology and social media, become successful in its endeavors so we can offer it back to you as our humble offering to honor you, glorify you, and love you through our deeper connection with everyone. May we find bliss in today's session and become more productive children and co-creators of the earth. This we ask and pray through Christ our Lord. Amen.
You are most likely to succeed in life if you ever use your talents to their fullest extent. Similarly, you'll suffer fewer problems if you know what your weaknesses are. And if you manage these weaknesses so that they don't matter in the work you do.
So, how are you going to identify these strengths and weaknesses and analyzing the opportunities and threats that flow from them? SWOT analysis is a useful technique that helps you do this. With this, let us know more about on how to make your own personal SWOT analysis as our beloved Mrs. Jocelyn O. Peralta from MAPE Department gives us her opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give her a virtual round of applause.
Good day to everyone. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the MHPSS webinar series entitled Hitting the Goal Amidst Pandemic, a Guide for Goal Setting. We are very grateful to each one of you as you are all here with us virtually today, and also to the usual support of our beloved and ever-loving school principal, Mr. Pernal A. Lamban, for his approval and endless assistance. In today's webinar, you will learn a lot of things that will help you pursue your career goals. With the help of our exceptional resources speaker, he will give us insight that is based on your strengths and weaknesses that can gear up us to see more potential within us and learn opportunities in the future. In concluding, Let me reiterate my sincere hope that this MHPSS webinar series will result in success and your cooperation will establish a cornerstone in our SDRRM team. Thank you so much, Goshen. God bless us all.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Peralta.
And now, I know that all of us are very much excited to learn. And so, I would like to call our dynamic and energetic SDRRM coordinator and our bird club advisor, no other than Miss Danica Karen Cincuenco, to introduce to us our great research speaker for this day. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give her a virtual round of applause.
Thank you so much. Once again, good afternoon to everyone. Our great speaker for today is a graduate of the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila with a degree in Bachelor in Secondary Education, major in English. He has earned his completed academic units for Master of Arts in Educational Leadership and Management at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Or rather, at the Philippine Normal University, sorry. He was once awarded as the most outstanding teacher in President Corazon C. Aquino High School last October 5, 2020, and as an active high Y advisor in YMCA of Manila Incorporated. In the high school work department last March 16, 2019. He also received a recognition in Learning Continuity Plan as the champion for module production and simulation 2020 Gawad Primero DepEd NCR. He has also proven his in learning materials for the Division of Manila. A language editor, module writer for modules in senior high school as introduction to the humanity of the human person in the Division of City Schools, Manila. A renowned speaker and facilitator. Please help me introduce to you our guest speaker for today, the asset of President Corazon C. Aquino High School, no other than Mr. Milwin A. Esto. Let us give him a virtual round of applause.
Thank you, Ma'am Danica, for the very generous introduction. I am overwhelmed and pressured because of the adjectives and words you had mentioned earlier. Again, to our principal, the principal of Valeriano E. Fugoso Memorial High School, Sir Lamban, to the educative community of Fugoso High School, to the SDRRM team headed by the MAPE department and with the leadership of the SDRRM coordinator, Ma'am Cincuenco, to our officers, no, club officers and organization officers and students, the Fugosians. A good afternoon, and I hope that this afternoon will be productive, not only for me, not only for your teachers, but also for you, since our topic is forming your personal SWOT analysis, which I am expecting that your SDRRM coordinator, Ma'am Danica Cincuenco, is expecting you to produce at the end of this session. So let me present my PPT. Ma'am Danica, please allow me to present my PPT. First, can you hear me, ma'am? Malinaw po ba ako? Okay, good. How about my PPT? Can you see my PPT? Ma'am, nakikita po ba ang aking PowerPoint? By the way, to our delegates, please bear with me if you will be hearing unnecessary noise because I am in Baseco, I am in Aquino High School right now because we have our signing of clearance. So I need to attend also my professional responsibilities as a school teacher. Okay, so again, can you see my PPT, Ma'am Danica? Can you please give me a signal? Okay, thank you, ma'am. So again, the topic that was assigned to me this afternoon is about our personal SWOT analysis, or how do we identify our SWOTs, and how do we analyze these SWOTs, especially now in times of pandemic. So I know that our teachers, no, your teachers in Fogoso High School are very familiar with these SWOTs, no, especially how they form their analysis. Especially most of our educators today are continuously learning, no, mga nag-aaral tong mga teachers na to. And of course, as initiated by Ma'am Singcuenco, sabi niya, sir, you need to please our officers, no? Especially the SDRRM and the BERT, to formulate their own SWOT analysis. No? So later, we will try to look deeper to the definitions and the importance of each components. But let me start with this quotation by Tony Collett. Sabi ni Tony Collett, the better you know yourself, the better your relationship with the rest of the world. In times of pandemic, and even before this pandemic came, no, we, or most of the Filipino citizens, especially the high school students, are afraid to introduce themselves, especially in your language classes. When your teacher asks you to introduce yourself, when your teacher asks you to recite, when your teacher asks you to speak in front, especially in reportings, no? Kinakabahan tayo. And the reason is because we sometimes forget our own personalities. I want to believe that each one of us each one of us knows our own potentials. But sometimes we tend to forget who we really are. No? Sino ba talaga tayo? Kaya sabi ni Tony Collett, the better you know yourself, no? You have to know yourself better so that other people can recognize you, no? Sometimes we allow people to recognize us the way they want us to recognize. Sometimes we became too humiliated. Sometimes we are intimidated whenever we encounter people with strong personality. Minsan nahihiya tayo, minsan natatakot tayo kapag tingin natin ang taong kaharap natin ay mas magaling sa atin. Pero sabi ni Colette, no, sabi ni Tony Collette, if we know ourselves better, we will have better relationship with the rest of the world. And this includes the humanity. This includes our home as the smallest unit of government. This includes your school. No, you encounter most of your time with your classmates, with your teachers, with other individuals in your school. No, and most importantly, you will have better relationship with yourself. No, especially with this quarantine thing, with this period, ay um, medyo marami na tayong nararanasang hindi magagandang bagay, no? So, sabi ni Tony Collette, we have to know ourselves better in order for us to have better relationship, not only with the other people, but most importantly, with ourselves. Okay, now let us try to identify what these letters, no, what these letters mean. Ano ba tong SWOT na to? So let us start with the letter S, no? Sabi S is the strengths. W are our weaknesses. O for opportunities, and T for threats. Definitely these four, no? These four competencies or these four attitudes, nasa atin yan, no? But the problem is, sometimes we forget to recognize. Definitely, as human being, we know ourselves. Kilala natin ang sarili natin. We know our strengths, weaknesses. We know what are the opportunities being introduced to us. We know also the different threats that we may encounter along the journey of a specific task or goal. No? But sometimes we forget these things. We are misleaded because we forget these things. And I want you to realize that these things are very important, since these will serve as your foundations, especially when you reach your dreams, when you finish your studies, when you decide for for a certain task, for a certain problem. These SWOTs will serve as your foundation. And if these SWOTs are addressed properly, if these SWOTs, no, are strong enough, definitely you will be able to encounter all the challenges and problems in the future, no? So what does it do? Why do we need to know these SWOTs? Or why do we need to analyze these SWOTs? Ano bang ginagawa nitong mga to? Basically, the SWOT analysis helps us to identify first the thing that an organization is very good at. No? Most of the businesses, most of the industry, organization, which includes our school, which includes your small organizations, your interest clubs, and even your home, no? That is an organization. You have to identify, or you need to realize these SWOTs, because it will help you identify the good things about your organization, about your family, about your school, no? Minsan mas nakikita natin yung hindi magagandang bagay. Pero sabi, in SWOT analysis, you have to identify first your strengths. You have to know first the good things about your organization. Second, it helps us to identify the things that are in need of assistance. Since we acknowledge that nobody is perfect, no organization is such perfect, we need to identify these rooms for improvement. We need to ask for assistance. We need guidance. That is why your teachers are there. Your moderators are there. Our school officials, our parents, no? Our advisors are there because we need assistance. Especially you, no, teenagers. You are the most vulnerable in this time of pandemic. Not because of your health. No, one factor is your health, but because you are introduced, no, with so many technological advancements that may be good or may be bad depending on how we view these innovations. You are introduced with these changes. Yeah, change is the only thing constant in this world. Yeah, change can give us positivities and innovations, but we cannot deny the fact that these change can cause problems. These change can open and sometimes will lead us to negativities and bigger problems. So we need assistance. That is why we have to identify our own weaknesses. No? As human being, yeah, we know our strengths, but we also have to be aware with our weaknesses. And later, we will try to address our own weaknesses and how we can connect these weaknesses to other components so that these weaknesses will not be only be addressed, but also be used as opportunities or maybe as strengths in the future. Next, it helps us identify the things that organizations should take advantage of. Again, these things that we need to take advantage are the things that we do not own. These sometimes there are things that are offered to us. Sometimes there are opportunities nandyan na pala pero hindi natin tinatanggap. No? You know, Ma'am Danica Cincuenco is a good friend of mine, no? And I always tell to your teacher to always be risky, no? To always accept challenges. Even before, no? Lagi ko siya sinasabihin, take risk, get responsibilities because these are opportunities. And also with you, no? When you are given tasks, that is why I am very happy to see our MCs earlier, the way they communicated their scripts, the way they introduce, the way they run the program. No, I want to see young students, no, young or teenagers like you running meetings like this because I started my own career doing these things also. Nag-host din ako, nag-MC din ako when I was a student. And really, these or those, no, those situations, those tasks open a lot of opportunities to me. Not literally, but even as of today, I still reminisce all the days. I still get knowledge. I still get learning even from the past experiences. No, so I hope that you will be able to be willing to accept challenges because these are opportunities. Naalala ko nga when I was still a fourth year college student, one of my mentors told me, Milwin, when you enter the public school, no, when you enter the public school, tanggapin mo lang lahat ng utos. No? I was asking myself, bakit ko tatanggapin ng utos, especially kung labas na sa trabaho ko? No? Siya kasi utos siya ng utos. And during that time, syempre bata pa ako, I was asking myself, bakit ko siya sinusunod? First reason is because I need to obey. No? The hierarchy of positions, I need to obey. Second, sabi niya kasi sa akin, Milwin, every utos is an opportunity for you to learn. No? Kaya kapag inuutusan tayo ng parents natin, kapag inuutusan tayo ng teachers natin, kapag may pinapagawa sa atin, huwag tayong ma-stress. Let us think on the opposite side, no? Let us look at the positive things of those tasks. No? Isipin natin, every utos is an opportunity for me to grow. Every utos is an opportunity for me to learn something new. Because you do not know, no? Hindi natin papansin, we really learn. We learn something new. Especially with the advancements ngayon ng technology, with this pandemic, we try to learn. No, before we do not use these technological advancements. Wala tayong Google Meet, wala tayong Zoom, wala tayong Microsoft Teams, no? Pero matagal na silang nag-exist, but we do not recognize these opportunities. Ngayon, these are already opportunities for us. You can communicate with other people, hindi lang pala Messenger, no? Hindi lang pala Yahoo, hindi lang pala Google ang pwede nating gamitin. There are so many platforms. No, there are so many technological platforms that we can use to communicate with other people, with our friends, with our families, kahit malayo sila. Or dati nagre-report lang tayo with the Manila paper, with the cartolina, no? Or with the PowerPoint, o minsan nga, kung wala namang PowerPoint o walang laptop, yun lang ginagamit natin. Pero ngayon, we are obliged, no? Especially kapag may reporting, we are obliged to use PowerPoint presentation. We are tasked to use documents or Microsoft Word, Excel, no? Publisher for the journalism students. I know you are using Publisher and Adobe, no? Dati hindi natin to ginagamit, hindi natin siya pinapansin. But let me tell you that these things are the needs. No? These are the common needs and the common expectations of the fields. Whether you go to business, no? Whether your job lands to economy, government, private sectors, you will put up your own business, or you will be an ordinary employee. These things, no, these Microsoft things, the Word, the Excel, the PowerPoint, these are the common expectations from us. That is why this is really a good opportunity. This pandemic has opened lots of opportunities, especially to you. No, kaya minsan kung nai-stress tayo, ang hirap naman pumasa, ang hirap naman gumawa, ang hirap naman mag-comply. Sa totoo lang, sa mga teachers nyo, medyo nahihirapan din sila, no? Kung kayo ay nahihirapan bilang mga students, paano pa yung mga teachers natin na medyo may edad? But they are willing to learn. They accepted this challenge. And because they accepted this challenge, today, these are opportunities for them, no? Lahat ng teachers natin ay magagaling na sa computer. Next, the SWOT analysis helps us to identify also the things that threaten the organization. Since we know our strengths, we identify and recognize our own weaknesses, we accept challenges and recognize these opportunities, it would be easy for us to identify the threats. No, we cannot assume that everything will be positive. There are factors outside, no? There are things outside our organization that will produce negativities, no? These are the threats, no? Ito yung mga bagay na hindi natin inaasahan. These are the things that we cannot control, no? But we can do something to address these threats. We cannot control the numerous threats. Darating at darating yan, no? Sometimes we expect, sometimes we do not expect. No, these are uncontrollable, but these threats can be addressed. These threats can be adjusted, and these threats can be used as opportunities in the future. So that is what the SWOT analysis does for us. Now, let us proceed with our main topic, the personal SWOT analysis. When we say personal SWOT analysis, this is the assessment, your own assessment. Di ba minsan meron kayong mga teacher na pinasasagutan kayo ng diagnostic test to identify your present knowledge. Sometimes meron kayong survey na sinasagutan, yung mga multiple intelligence tests. These are personal assessment of your individual strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is only one strategy of your teachers and even you. This is only one strategy of yours to identify these SWOTs. And why do we need to do that? Bakit natin siya ginagawa? First, as human nature, no, bilang tao, we have to identify what makes a person valuable. Bakit ba ako importante? Paano ba ako nagiging importante? Because the moment we give value to ourselves, that is only the moment for others to see the value in us. 'Di ba? Huwag nating hintayin yung pagpapahalaga ng iba, no? Dapat pahalagahan muna natin yung sarili natin para makita din ng iba kung ano ba yung value natin, ano yung worth natin, no? Next, what areas need to be worked on? Since we identify our weaknesses, we have to adjust, no? Hindi pwede na itong weaknesses na to ay mananatiling weaknesses, no? We have to do this personal SWOT analysis. Again, this is your personal SWOT analysis. Ibig sabihin, you identify your own, no? Your own weaknesses. Ano ba yung mga kahinaan ko? Saan ba ako hindi magaling, no? Next, what things a person can take advantage? Ano ba yung mga meron ako na hindi ko naman pagmamay-ari, hindi naman innate, pero naibibigay sa akin, no? These advantages are opportunities, no? These may be challenge, this may be a challenge, this may be an opportunity, no? But what we can do out of these things is to take advantage of these, no? Kailangan natin silang gamitin, no? Next, what threatens their ability or what threatens our ability to take advantage of our own opportunities? Since we use these opportunities, no? Kinukuha natin 'tong mga opportunities na 'to. Minsan nga sinasabihan na tayo na opportunities taker, no? Ginagrab natin ang ginagrab ang opportunities. We have to be aware also that there are threats in every opportunities, no? Sa bawat opportunity na meron tayong isa o higit pang threats na makakasalamuha, no? And I know na kayo minsan, no, tayong mga bata, no, I want to include myself, tayong mga bata, minsan hindi tayo nagga-grab ng opportunity kasi natatakot tayo. Paano kung bumagsak? Paano kung hindi ko magawa? Paano kung magkamali ako? Lagi tayong may what if, no? Lagi tayong may what if. But these what ifs will never be answered if we will not try. You know, the greatest accomplishment of an individual is to try something new. If you try something new, that is already an accomplishment. You don't have to be good at certain things. You just have to be risky, no? You just have to be strategic, no? You just have to take trials, no? Because these trials will open lots of opportunities, learnings, and these learnings are opportunities. So tingnan natin itong chart na ito, no? So kanina, I define or binigay ko kung ano ibig sabihin ng SWOT, no? Ulitin natin, S, strengths, W, our weaknesses, O for opportunities, T for threats. Sometimes we are misleaded, no? Minsan hindi natin alam ano ba yung strengths, ano ba yung opportunities, ano ba yung pinagkaiba, no? Look at the diagram. Both strengths and opportunities are helpful. Ito yung mga bagay na nakakatulong sa pag-unlad natin, especially kayong teenagers. As I mentioned earlier, you are very vulnerable. Kayo yung mga madaling mabago. Kayo yung mga madaling mahikayat. Ngayon, kung nahihikayat kayo ng iba, bakit hindi natin hikayatin ang sarili natin? Kung nababago kayo ng iba, bakit hindi natin kayang baguhin ang sarili natin? All we need to do, no, is to use these helpful things. And what are those? The strengths and the opportunities. Ngayon, bakit may harmful? Tulad ng sinabi ko, ang buhay ay, 'di ba? Sabi, ang buhay ay parang isang gulong ng palad, no? Minsan tayo ay nasa taas, minsan tayo ay nasa baba. Definitely, there are risks, no? there are challenges, there are difficulties that will hinder us to reach our goal, to reach our dreams. No? Para magawa natin ang isang bagay, there are things that would hinder us. And these are the harmful things, which are the weaknesses and threats. Now, may nakikita kayo diyang internal and external. Okay? May nakikita kayo diyang internal and external. Yung sinasabi nating internal, no? The internal qualities are the strengths and the weaknesses. Pag sinabing internal, yan yung mga bagay na nasa atin. Yan yung mga bagay na hindi na-influence ng iba, no? Pwedeng natutunan natin, pwedeng lumaki tayo ng ganyan, pwedeng upbringing natin, ito yan. These are the qualities that before you entered the school, meron na kayo. These are the qualities that may be affected, but most of the time, iyo to, no? These are your own strengths. These are the weaknesses of yours. Hindi porket weakness ng iba, weakness mo din. Hindi porket strength ng iba, strength mo din. Kaya nga 'di ba sinasabi natin, meron tayong individual differences, no? There are strengths na ikaw lang ang meron din ng iba, at merong taong walang ganong strengths, no? But these are the internal. Ito yung mga nasa atin na. Ngayon, paano natin to i-manage, no? All we need to do is to adjust, no? We have to identify the balance between the strengths and the weaknesses. As I mentioned, these are the internal things. And since these are internal things, it is very easy for us to balance these things. Tayo ang nakakaalam sa sarili natin yan. Hindi natin yan pwedeng iasa sa iba, hindi natin yan pwedeng hintayin. Ano kaya yung mga magiging weakness ko? Ay, ngayong araw na to, ito yung weakness ko. No. No? As I mentioned, these are internal factors. These are internal competencies na nasa inyo na. Now, ano naman yung mga external? These are opportunities and threats. Yan yung mga bagay na hindi galing sa inyo. Hindi pwede na ikaw ang mag-produce ng sarili mong opportunity. No? The opportunities are given to us. The opportunities are bestowed upon us. The opportunities are offered to us. No? Nandiyan ang opportunity. Kinukuha lang natin, pinapasukan lang natin. But these things are uncontrollable. Hindi natin nakokontrol ang opportunities. Pero, pwede natin siyang gamitin. We can take advantage of these, especially if these opportunities are given to us. Same with the threats. Tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, hindi natin control ang mga threats. No? Maybe you are a threat. No? Hindi lang ito qualities, pwedeng ito ay bagay, pwedeng ito ay tao, no? Yung mga taong pumipigil sa pag-unlad natin, yung mga taong wala namang ginagawa kundi siraan tayo. They are the threats, no? We cannot do anything, no, to influence these people unless we give value to ourselves. Kaya nga 'di ba sabi kanina ni Tony Collette, you have to know yourself better so that other people will know you. So that you will have good relationship with other people. Not unless you give value to yourself. These threats, these people who are your threats will never change their judgment toward you. No? These threats may be judgments of other people. Tulad ng sinabi ko, hindi natin to pagmamay-ari. We cannot control their judgments. May masasabi at may masasabi ang mga tao sa atin. No? But we have our internal factors. We have our internal competencies, and we have to maximize these strengths and at the same time make a balance between the strengths and the weaknesses. So first, ano ba tong mga ito? No? Sabi, strengths are the tasks or actions you can do well. Ito yung mga bagay na kaya nating gawin ng magaling. Kaya natin siguraduhin na magagawa natin kahit nakapikit. No? Because these are our strengths. And definitely your teachers can recognize that. No? Kasi napapansin nila yan sa inyong day-to-day lesson, sa inyong day-to-day class. These include your knowledge. O matalino ka, strength mo yon. Proficiencies, you're good in languages, you're good in reading, you're good in interpretation. Advantage mo yon, strength mo yon. You have the skills, no? The technical skills, the creativity skills, you have your talents. Those are your strengths. Though you can develop these strengths, hindi pwedeng agawin sa'yo ito ng iba. No? Hindi pwedeng magaling kang kumanta dahil lang ayaw sa'yo ng isang tao, hindi ka nagagaling. No? Pwedeng gumaling ka because of training, pwedeng innate, but these are your strengths. This is something internal. Ikaw yan. No? Maybe your talent is influenced by other people, but definitely you cannot be you can these strengths cannot be outtaken to you just because you are influenced, no? Kasi nasa inyo 'yan. People use their traits and abilities to complete work, relate with others, and achieve goals. Most of the time, ito yung ginagamit natin kasi dito nga tayo magaling. Kapag nahihirapan tayong i-accomplish ang isang bagay, we make use of our strengths, no? Because we can never be wrong with our strengths. Magaling tayo dito eh. Ano ba itong mga to? First, maybe you are knowledgeable. Now, in times of pandemic, we have to be healthy, enthusiastic, no? We have to be enthusiastic even if the challenges are there. Even if there are so many problems, we have to be enthusiastic, organized, articulate, competitive. These things, no, are your strengths na meron kayo. I am not saying that all of us have all these strengths. Hindi ko sinasabi na lahat tayo, meron tayong strengths ng lahat ng to, no? Pero what I mean is, these strengths, maybe you are creative, you are trustworthy, you are honest, sympathetic, cheerful. Pwedeng most or some of these strengths ay meron kayo o meron tayo, no? And we just have to identify ano ba yung meron tayo, no? Witty ba tayo? Pag sinabing witty, mabilis tayo mag-isip? Energetic ba tayo? Responsible ba tayo? Self-confident ba tayo? Being friendly is also a strength because not all individuals are friendly. No? So the first thing, as I mentioned earlier, the first thing that we have to identify is our strengths. What are our strengths? Ano ba yung strengths natin? Saan tayo magaling? No? Because based on the definition, these are the things that we usually use, no? To complete, to finish our task, to overcome the problems, to work with others, to achieve our personal goals. Definitely, iba-iba tayo ng personal goals. Kayo mga bata, iba-iba kayo ng personal goals every day. Yung iba sa inyo, ang personal goal ay makapagpakitang gila sa klase, di ba? Maging magaling sa klase. Yung iba sa inyo ay maging magaling na TikTokerist. Yung iba sa inyo ay maging magaling na singer. Kung ano man ang gusto nyong maging, no? But these strengths, no, we cannot be good at a certain profession if we do not know our strengths. No, and sometimes we need assistance from others to identify these strengths. No, hindi naman to being hindi naman to be parang nagiging mapresko ka o mayabang. Magaling ka diyan, alam ko magaling ako. Hindi to being boastful, no? But we cannot deny the fact that these strengths are our foundation. Ito yung ginagamit natin to conquer with other people. Remember, life is a battle. Gumising ka sa umaga, ito ay isang malaking battle na. No? Ang hamon ay, babangon ka ba? O ipagpapatuloy mo ang tulog mo? Use your strengths. Energetic ako. I have to be energetic. Babangon ako. I will accomplish all my responsibilities. O cooperative ako. Meron kaming group task. Gagawin ko ito. O I am very honest. No? Especially, ang honesty is always questioned. No? In every decision that we make, honesty is being questioned. Trustworthiness is being questioned. No? So, ito yung mga strengths natin. Now, kung meron tayong strengths, meron din tayong weaknesses. And these are areas where you or your organization may be weaker. Pwedeng, hindi naman ito sinasabi na wala kayo neto, pero pwedeng hindi kayo magaling dito. No? Or pwedeng merong mas magaling sa inyo. No? There are people who can do better than us. No? Sometimes we think that we are great, but we have to accept, no, that there are so many individuals who are greater in us, no? Kaya actually, this is one of the values I learned from YMCA, no? So hindi ko pinopromote ang YMCA because I know that your school is very active in YMCA. What I learned in this organization, in the YMCA, is there are always more individuals better than me. Laging merong mas magaling sa akin. So dahil laging merong mas magaling sa akin, I don't have to compete with others. I have to compete with myself, no? I have to be good every day. I have to be better than yesterday, no? And to identify our weaknesses is already an accomplishment. Minsan mahirap tanggapin yung mga bagay na kakulangan natin. Minsan mahirap tanggapin itong mga bagay na hindi tayo magaling, no? And sabi, these are the 6 common workplace weaknesses, no? Bakit natin inaalam itong common workplace weaknesses? Because you are the future global makers. You are the future innovators. You are the future movers of the economy. Kayo yung mga future na employees and employers, no? Kayo yung mga magtatrabaho sa hinaharap. And now, no, as a junior high school student and or as a senior high school student, kung kayo ay senior high, no, especially for the teachers, no, as we go older, we have to identify, all of us, we have to identify and to recognize these things. Kasi hindi natin alam, baka meron na tayo neto. Next, ano ba itong mga 6 na to? First, yung procrastination. No? Minsan, itong procrastination, missing deadlines. Minsan, gagawa lang tayo kung kailan submission na. Minsan, gagawa lang tayo last minute. Minsan, gagawa lang tayo kasi napaalala, pero matagal na siyang nasabi. No? Bakit siya nagiging weakness? Kasi hindi natin nabibigay, no? We did not, or sometimes, because we are running out of time, because procrastination happens, we finish things without quality. Remember our mantra in the DepEd Manila, no? Quality first, where excellence is a lifestyle. Paulit-ulit natin siyang sinasabi. But most of the time, especially with the students like you, no? You are experiencing this procrastinations na ito. Gumagawa lang kayo kung kailan pasahan na. No? Especially ngayon matatapos na ang taon, alam ko maraming naghahabol. No? So nasa ng excellence. Kaya nga sa amin, sa Aquino High School, ang aming value system is passion for excellence, service from the heart, no? Because if we will have the passion for excellence, hindi tayo gagawa ng mema pasa, may masubmit, may magawa, may mapakita, no? Passion for excellence, we have to have passion for excellence. Not just passion, kasi kapag passion, gagawin mo lang siya. But you have to have passion for excellence so that, no, your actions are always with excellence. No? Service from the heart, yun yung aming mantra sa Aquino High School. Bakit? Kasi if you will do things, no, with sincerity, with compassion, with heart, everything will be feasible. Everything will be possible. When we say feasible, everything will be under control. When we say possible, pwede. Kahit mahirap, kakayanin. No? Next, another common weakness in the workplace is impatience. Ito yung mga taong hindi marunong maghintay. Ito yung mga taong napaglipasan lang, akala nila, napaglipasan na sila ng panahon. No? Ito yung mga impatient na tao. Frustration with the level of productivity of others. Minsan kapag nakikita natin na bakit nagagawa na ng iba, hindi ko pa nagagawa, naiinis na tayo. No? Especially kapag group work. No? Minsan nagagawa na ng ibang grupo, bakit nakapagpasa na siya, ako hindi pa? Bakit ang galing-galing niya, bakit ako di ko pa natututunan? Bakit siya natutunan niya na yung formula sa math, ako hindi pa? No? We are being impatient. No? And these are the things that we have to control. Katulad ng sinabi ko, we have to make balance between the strengths and the weaknesses. No? Halimbawa, mahina ako sa math, but I'm good in language. No? What I do, especially whenever I encounter mathematical problems when I was in high school, is to understand the problem. No? You have to understand the problem. Maybe I may not give the correct answer, but I may give the best possible answer I can give. No? That is always my philosophy. I may not give the best answer, or I may not give the correct answer, but what I can assure is I can give the best possible answer I can offer. No? Sir, sa math, right minus wrong. Sir, sa math, kapag may specific answer, di ba? There are solutions to those problems. I always believe that these problems are not given to us. Whether mathematically, whether math problems, whether life problems, anumang problema yan, there are always a solution for a specific problem. No? All we need to do is to find a solution. No? Sir, Paano kapag hindi ko alam ang tamang solusyon? You just have to dig into it. You just have to solve. Hindi mo malalaman na tama o mali kung hindi mo susubukan. Kung mali, umulit, no? No? Kaya lang, katulad ng sinabi ko sa akin, you have to know your strengths because this will help you identify the best possible solution to this problem. Okay? Next, inflexible. No, yung uncompromising, stubborn, you're very resistant to change and new ideas. You know, when this pandemic entered, no, especially last year, no, nung pumasok ito, I was very I am resistant to change. Iniisip ko, paano ba magmo-modular? Paano ba mag-online class? Walang signal sa Baseco. You know, Baseco is the most depressed area in Manila. No? Lagi akong, hindi pwede, hindi pwede. Pero pwede pala. No? We just have to be flexible. If other people cannot be flexible enough for themselves, we have to offer flexibility. We have to start from us. Tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, kung makikita ng iba na we are flexible enough, maybe gagayahin nila tayo. No? At alam ko naiintindihan niya ng ating mga teachers. No? There are teachers in the beginning na very resistant sila sa change. Ayaw nila mag-online class. Ayaw nila na gawin itong mga bagay na ito. Mahirap. Pero because they see the beauty in other people, they see the beauty in these pedagogies, they see the beauty in these strategies of other teachers, they adopt. No? You know, adaptation is the first step to success. No? You have to be willing to adopt something new. You have to take risk. Next is reluctance to delegate, takes on too much or lacks confidence in others, checks up on others. Minsan, we are we are insensitive and insecure. No? Minsan, bago natin alamin yung sarili natin, mas inuuna natin kilalanin yung ibang tao. No? Dito na bobuo yung mga chismis. Dito na bobuo yung mga paninirang puri, yung mga siraan, yung mga hindi magagandang bagay na nasasabi natin toward other people. No? Kasi, instead of identifying our own personalities, we are very busy recognizing the weaknesses of others. We are very busy judging other people. No? Kaya hindi natin na-identify yung weaknesses natin. But you know, I always believe that the moment you recognize the weaknesses of others, ibig sabihin weaknesses mo din siya. Because you cannot identify something that you do not own. No? Kaya kapag sinabi natin, ay, yan taong yan bobo, hindi yan magaling, baka tayo din ay bobo. I always tell that to my students. No? To never identify and recognize the weakness of others. Because the moment you recognize their weaknesses, it means you own also the same weaknesses. No? What we have to be busy at is identifying our own weaknesses. In the SWOT analysis, you do not recognize the weaknesses of others. You do not recognize the limitations of other people. You are limited with your own limitations. They are limited with their own limitations. Your judgments will never change their personalities. No? But the moment you recognize their personalities, or specifically their weaknesses, it means you own the same weaknesses. Imagine, dumadami yung weaknesses mo. At nalalaman din ng iba yung weaknesses mo. No, paano mo malalaman na bobo siya kung hindi siya bobo? Ibig sabihin, you know the qualities of becoming a bobo. No? You know the qualities of being a tamad. No? So, kapag itong mga bagay na hindi magaganda na nare-recognize natin sa ibang tao, ay nare-recognize natin, ibig sabihin, ganun din tayo. No? I always tell that to my students. And I hope that all teenagers will realize that. No? Hindi to promote camaraderie and goodwill, peace to nation, no? Hindi to Miss Universe. What I mean is, we have to know ourselves. We have to give time to ourselves. No? Tayo muna bago ang iba. No? I'm not saying you have to be selfish. No? But you cannot offer something positive to other people if you do not know your positivities and negativities. Next, unassertive. Ano to mga unassertive na to? Reluctant to speak up or ask for help. Naiiya ka, hindi ka sigurado. No, lagi kang kinakabahan, tama ba yung sasabihin ko? Mahirap sa'yo yung mag-no. Mahirap din sa'yo yung tanggapin yung mga hindi magagandang bagay na masasabi nila. Ako, I always believe, and I always tell this to my students and to my friends, that judgments, or we have to consider their judgments constructively. Kahit hindi yun nila yun binigay sa atin constructively, ako, I will take that constructively. I will be thankful for that because at least I was able to identify a weakness or weaknesses without putting too much effort. O, nalaman niya, hindi pala ako magaling sa gantong bagay. Thank you. Pinaalam mo sa akin na hindi ako naghihirap para malaman ito. O, edi in my SWOT analysis, it would be easy for me to identify, to include that particular weakness. No? We have to be positive, accepting our own limitations. As I mentioned, especially with your teachers, hindi kayo niyan pinagagalitan, sinasabihan, para lang mapahiya, no? Definitely, they were able to identify these things. And they are telling these things to you because they want you to overcome this. They want to help you. They want you to recognize also these things. No? But you, young individuals, you are not yet matured enough to recognize the weaknesses of others. No? Definitely, there are professional competencies you have to master in order for you to be good at recognizing others' weaknesses. No? And your teachers are very good with that. No, they have their psychology units, psychology classes. They're studying continuously, no? Nag-aaral pa rin yan, mga yan. Kaya they can give judgments constructively. Next, we are very cautious. Adverse to risk. Takes time to make a decision. Minsan, ang dami-dami nating pinag-iisipan. Tama ba yung sagot ko? Tama ba yung ginagawa ko? Naubos na ang oras, hindi pa natin natatapos ang exam. Natapos na ang oras, hindi pa natin nagagawa yung dapat nating gawin. No? We have to be, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, we have to be risk taker. Sir, paano kung yung decision mo ay mali? That is how, or that is when your competencies of becoming strategic will enter. No? You have to decide strategically. Kaya nga tayo may math classes eh. Kaya nga tayo may science classes. Di ba? Pinag-aaralan natin yan. The scientific method. No? Para maging systematic, no? Maging strategic yung mga decisions natin in life, no? Hindi yan binibigay sa inyo para lang malaman si X and Y axis, no? Basically, those are simple formulas, but there are life values you can learn from those topics, no? We have to take risk. Next, the opportunities. These are possibilities that you can take advantage of, to help you achieve your goals and ambitions. Sabi nila, there are always a chance to change. No? But you can never change a chance. What do I mean with that? There are always chances. Lagi tayong may chance to change. Laging may change. Di ba sabi, change is the only thing constant in this world. Laging may pagbabago, laging may innovation. And there are always chances para tanggapin natin itong pagbabago. There are always rooms for improvement. There are always rooms for us to adapt with these changes. But we can never change a chance. Kapag ang di ba sabi, opportunities only knock once. Kapag nag-knock na yan sa'yo, hindi na yan magna-knock ulit. No? Hindi mo pwedeng baguhin, what if ginawa ko to dati? No? Kapag ang isang opportunity ay hinindian mo, hindi mo na yan pwedeng balikan. Kaya nga dapat kapag merong opportunity and you recognize that as an opportunity for you to grow, take it. Because there are always chances for you to be changed. There are always chances for you to adopt with these limitless changes. No? Ibig sabihin, you might encounter hindrances, difficulties along the journey of adopting these changes, but there are always chances, numerous chances for you. No? Pero, kapag itong chance na to pinakawalan mo, hindi mo na mababago. Pwedeng itong opportunity na to ay nabigay na sa iba. Pwedeng itong opportunity na to ay nagpaso na. No? Kaya nga lagi ko sinasabi kay Ma'am Danica, Ma'am Danica Cincuenco is a good teacher, no? I was a mentee before of Ma'am Danica, no? Daging I was a mentee of Ma'am Danica, and I always tell to her to accept opportunities. Gaano man kaliit o kalaki ang opportunity na yan, tanggapin mo. Magkamali ka man, tanggapin mo kasi matututo ka. And there are always chances for you to prove yourself. Don't, sir, sabi mo kanina, you don't have to prove yourselves with others. Yes, but you have to prove yourself with yourself. Kailangan mo patunayan ang sarili mo sa sarili mo or else you will not value yourself. No? The biggest revenge is to go back to the past or to go back to the time when we did not accept the change. Bumalik sa pagkakataon na hindi na natin mababalikan, no? So always take responsibilities kasi these are opportunities for you to grow. No, hindi ito pagpapahirap, hindi ito trabaho, hindi ito task. Pag may pinagawa sa inyo si teacher, may binigay na additional requirements, mag-thank you. Ma'am, thank you kasi 100 na yung requirements mo sa amin. It means we had 100 chances to learn something new. No? Of course, that is very hyperbolic, but those are opportunities for you. Next are your threats. No, these are the things that may prevent you or your organization from making a profit or achieving your goals. What do I mean with this? No, cautions. No, that is why we have to be cautious. Also, there are so many threats in the universe. In your own community, there are so many threats. Your classmate may be a threat. Your family may be a threat. Your teacher may be a threat. No, but always remember that these threats are given with opportunities. Kaya may mga threats kasi meron kayong opportunities. You know, when I was a high school student, I was judged by one of my English teachers. Sabi niya, sabi niya sa akin, Esto, hindi ka magiging teacher. No? But I am a teacher right now. Teacher na ako ngayon, and I am very grateful because of that judgment. I was able to identify her threat that there is an opportunity for me to become a teacher. No? Before, I was dreaming to become a teacher, and I will never recognize the limitless opportunities given to me to become a teacher without her being a threat. No? My family was a threat for me. Before, ayaw nila mag-teacher. Huwag ka mag-teacher, walang pera dyan. Huwag ka mag-teacher, hindi ka yayaman dyan. Huwag ka mag-teacher, ganito, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. No? But during these times of pandemic, until now, I am very grateful. Bakit? Nawala na ng trabaho ang lahat. We teachers, nandito pa din kami. And I will never recognize the goodness and the opportunities of becoming a teacher without these threats. No? Ayaw ng magulang kong pag-aralin ako kasi magti-teacher lang daw ako. No? Anong ginawa ko? What I did was to look for scholarships. What I did was to look for opportunities. I will not be able to identify scholarships. I will not be able to identify opportunities without knowing that there are threats. Kasi, kung kaya naman akong pag-aralin ng magulang ko, hindi ko makikita itong mga opportunities na ito. 'Di ba? Hindi ko ma-realize na there are so many opportunities given to me. No? Kaya kapag meron mga threats, no? Halimbawa, of course, wag naman death threat, no? Pero kapag may mga threats sa inyo, halimbawa yung classmate nyo sinisiraan kayo, be grateful. No? That there are individuals na nai-insecure sa inyo. Ibig sabihin, you are very secured. Ibig sabihin, there are so many things good at you na maybe naiinggit sila. And be grateful because they are able to identify your weaknesses. No? Hindi ka na naghirap. Mag-thank you ka, buti ka pa, salamat na identify mo yung weakness ko. At least ngayon alam ko na. No? Because the moment you identify your threats, trust me, the moment you identify these threats, that will be the time for you to realize that there are so many opportunities this life has to offer. Madaming opportunities na ino-offer sa atin. Minsan, hindi lang natin sila ma-realize, hindi lang natin sila ma-recognize kasi we are very competent enough. Competent na tayo, secured na tayo. Kumbaga, we are contented. No, of course, contentment is something good, no? But because of these factors, hindi natin nakikita yung mga opportunities na pwedeng makuha pa natin o pwedeng ma-share din natin sa iba. No? Opportunities are something that you can share. Remember, these are external factors. Pwedeng na-share nyo yung opportunities, pwede ding na-share nyo yung threats. No? Pwedeng kayo yung threat, huwag ka nang gumawa dyan. Huwag ka na magpasa, papasa ka naman online class. Huwag ka nang gumawa dyan. Nanguhula lang naman yan. No? Huwag ka nang gumawa dyan, di naman kailangan. Those are threats. Threats for you to learn something new. No? Especially this SWOT analysis. No, I studied in a vocational high school. I was able to learn these SWOT analysis, feasibility study, business plan. Kahit hindi ako nasa business field, I was able to use these competencies kasi natuto ako, no? At kayo din, never underestimate a specific topic na tinuturo sa atin. Kasi this will give us limitless opportunities. Trust me, there's so many opportunities in the world. And these topics na tinuturo sa inyo ng mga teachers ninyo, regardless of the subject, will open lots of opportunities for you. So what are the SWOT processes? No? Ano ba itong mga SWOT process? First, we have to identify the goal that you want to achieve. Diba? Sabi, as a human being, if you want to become successful, you have to have a dream. Diba? Ang mga teachers nyo, ang philosophy niyan is to begin with the end in mind. Your teachers will not enter the classroom. Your teacher will not teach you without an objective in mind. Definitely, before the class starts, meron na silang objectives. No? They have the end in mind. No, they have the bird's eye view of their expectations, of their objectives for each individual. Okay? So, it is very important to be as specific as possible. You have to be specific. Sabi natin, if you want to achieve something new, if you have to achieve something good or better or best, no, you have to be smart. Ano tong smart na to? S, you have to be specific. M, your goals must be measurable. A, it must be achievable or attainable. Next, our actions must be result-oriented. And T, no, it must be time-bounded. Bakit may time-bounded? Hindi pwedeng dream ka lang ng dream. You have to reach for your dream, no? That is why you are identifying your goals. You do not identify your goal just because you want to identify it. Gusto kong mangarap. Hindi tayo nangangarap para lang mangarap. Nangangarap ka to achieve that. And the moment you achieve that, no? The moment you achieve that, the day will open lots of opportunities for you to dream. No? There are so many goals in life. And you will be able to realize higher goal, no? Higher orders of goals if you're able to identify your first goals. No? Be clear about the timing. That is when you want to achieve your goal. Halimbawa, 5 years from now, what do you want your life will be in the future 5 years from now? 10 years from now, nasaan ka? 15 years from now, anong ginagawa mo? And also how you will know that you have achieved it. You have to identify also the moment you identify your goals, you have to identify how you're able to know if you already achieve those goals. Paano mo malalaman kung na-achieve mo na sila? No? You have to set success criteria. Halimbawa, ako, to be honest, my dream is to become a doctor, no? To become a doctor at the age of 40. So, when I graduated at the year 2016, sabi ko, I will take the board exam. No, 2017, I will enter public school because I am a proud product of public institutions. I want to pay back. I want to serve young. I want to serve the community the way I was served by my former teachers. No? So, but unfortunately, there are hindrances. No? There are threats. Along the way, there are threats. Hindi ko na-achieve in 2017. Year 2018, I was able to be part of the public school. Sabi ko, by year 2020, I will finish my master's. Still, there are hindrances. The pandemic hindered me. No, hindi ako nakagraduate ng 2020. My schedule was adjusted until now, no? Ay hindi pa ako graduate. But I want to reach 40, no? Sabi ko my target year is 40 na dapat ganito na ako. Bakit? Not to become too ambitious, but to reach more goals, not only for me, no? I want to believe that we are not dreaming just because of ourselves. We are not selfish the moment we dreamt of something, no? We dreamt of something because we have to share whatever we have to other people, maybe to our family. We want to support our siblings, our parents. You have to establish your own family, no? You have to help, or you want to help other people. You want to build your own organization or foundation, no? There are so many things that we want to do, and we dreamt of something because of something, not because we are too selfish, no? Definitely we have self considerations. Meron tayong mga kino-consider sa sarili natin, meron tayong mga gustong bilhin, may mga gusto tayong ma-achieve, may mga gusto tayong magawa, pero these dreams are not own. These dreams are shared to other people. Next, we have to identify the personal strengths that will help you achieve it and the weaknesses that could prevent you. Sabi, it is often helpful to consider knowledge, skills, experience, resources, and supports that you have available. No? Napakadali na alamin itong mga bagay na to. If you list these things separately, if you classify these things, it would be easy for us. O kuha lang tayo ng papel, isipin na natin, saan nga ba ako magaling? Saan nga ba ako mahina? No? These areas are generally internal. That is, they relate to you personally. You can address these strengths and weaknesses personally and the resources and skills that are available to you. What do I mean is, if we know these internal factors, and we took advantage of our opportunities, definitely there is a positive change. There is a positive outcome. Laging may positibong resulta. No? Kapag itong internal things, the strengths and the weaknesses are balanced, and at the same time, we took advantage of our opportunities. Next, identify any opportunities that could enable you to achieve the goal. And also that you will be able to take advantage of when you have achieved it. Opportunities, as I mentioned, are limitless. We took advantage of the opportunities the moment we encountered the threats. And we took advantage these opportunities the moment we reach a specific goal. Kapag meron tayong na-reach, definitely, that would be another time for us to reach another dream. No? These opportunities are generally external, relating to the environment and those around you, rather than you yourself. These opportunities are external. You can manage, but you cannot control these numbers of opportunities. Darating at darating ang opportunities na yan. Kaya lang, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, there's always a chance for change. No, you have to realize that. So if you accept the opportunity and along the way ay mahihirapan ka, there's always a chance for you to improve. No, but there is always one. No, there's always one chance for you to accept that particular opportunity because you cannot change the chance that was given to you. Okay. Next, we have to identify any threats, no? We are on the fourth process. Nakakasunod ba? We are on the fourth process and we have to identify any threats. Bakit any threats? Because these threats, we have to be humble, no? These threats can affect us along the way. These threats, how small or how big, pwedeng makahinder yan sa atin. These are external things and events that are worrying you. Minsan nga kapag natatanggap natin itong mga threats na to, nangangamba tayo. No? Nangangamba tayo. Or that might happen and prevent you from either achieving your goals. Minsan, iniisip natin, baka hindi ko ma-achieve, baka mas magaling siya, baka mangyari to, baka ito yung maganap. No, lagi tayong may baka, no? And these things, as I mentioned, these are external. We cannot control these threats, but we can manage these threats. Since you're able to identify your strengths, your weaknesses, you balance the two, and you recognize the opportunities, it would be easy for you, no, to manage your threats. Next, we have to review and prioritize. In making a SWOT analysis, there is always a review. Kailangan lagi mong nire-review. No? Hindi porket natapos ka na with your SWOT analysis, tapos ka na. You have to go back. No? After you make the SWOT analysis, no? Mamaya I will give you a sample of how you will be able to do your SWOT analysis. The moment you finish your SWOT analysis and you address, no, the questions and the strategies in the SWOT analysis, you have to review ano na yung mga na-overcome mo, ano na yung mga nagawa mo, no? Kasi baka may nadagdag sa yung strengths, no? Baka may nadagdag sa yung opportunities, or maybe may mga nadagdag o nabawas na weaknesses, or dumami ang threats. Kapag dumadami ang threats natin, both positive and negative yun eh. Kapag dumami ang kalaban mo, ibig sabihin, mas madami ang nagagalingan, madami kang competitor, you are being promoted to a higher level, no? And on the negative side, there are so many competitors, no? But these competitors are different to you, no? As I mentioned, there are individual differences. Yes, you may be at the same level, but you have different SWOTs, no? And it will always depend on the way how you manage your SWOTs, no? Pwedeng mas madami silang strength sa inyo. Pwedeng mas marami silang opportunity sa inyo. Mayaman sila, mahirap ka. Oh, that is an opportunity, no? Nanalo siya sa loto, binigyan siya ng scholarship. Ito lang yung school ko, taga Baseco lang ako, sa Baseco lang ako nag-aral. O halimbawa, yung mga bata natin sa Boys Town ay, di ba? Ito lang, no? Pero, hindi ibig sabihin yan ka lang. Yeah, you may be limited at some area, but it will always be dependent. No? Your actions and your future will always depend on how you manage your SWOTs. Hindi porket mas maganda ang SWOTs nila, mas marami silang SWOTs, mas identified ang SWOTs nila, ay mas magiging productive sila, mas magiging successful sila. No? It will always depend on how you manage your SWOTs. No? Finally, as sabi, bakit daw natin nire-review and prioritize ang ating SWOT? Finally, as always, with development activities and anything that looks like strategic thinking, it is a good idea to review our analysis. No, we have to ask ourselves, first, is this recognizably me? No, ako ba to? Ako ba talaga tong mga pinagsusulat ko? O sinulat ko to just because I want to have a good impression with other people? Just because I want other people to know that this is me. No? You have to answer this question. Is this recognizably me? Ako ba talaga to? Second, is there anything that I have forgotten? May nakalimutan ka ba? No? That is why sometimes we share our SWOT analysis with other teachers or with your teachers, with your parents. You ask your teachers, your parents, your ate kuya. No, you ask your classmates, ako ba to? You share your SWOT analysis because baka hindi nga ikaw yan. Or sometimes you forget something, no? Remember, humans are limited. Humans are limited in nature. May mga bagay na baka nakalimutan ka. And finally, which areas are most important in each of the 4 categories in the analysis? No? Kailangan mo identify which are the most important factors, which are the most important competencies in each component. Oh, strength, ano yung pinaka-strength ko? Ano yung pinaka-weakness ko? Because your biggest weakness is something that you have to address immediately. No? Your best strengths or your best strength will be your best asset. No? Your best opportunity is something that will offer you the greatest, no? The greatest change, no? And your biggest threat, the moment you overcome, the moment you are able to surpass your biggest threat, is something that will give you contentment. Is something that will give you relaxation, a positive mindset, no? So, dapat alam natin tong mga to. So, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, no? First, di ba alam naman natin, tulad ng sinabi ko, the strengths and the weaknesses are the internal factors, no? So, yung nasa taas, ayan yung internal. Yung nasa gilid, yung opportunities and threats, yan naman yung mga external. The first thing that we have to do in a SWOT analysis, which I want to emphasize that I think Ma'am Danica will be expecting you to do this, no? Especially for the SDRRM and for the BERT team, no? You have to identify or to list down your strengths. Lista mo lang. Basta pag sinabing strengths, these are the positive things about you internally. No? Weaknesses, what are the not so good? I don't want to say that these are the least factor or these are the bad things about you. But I want to say that these are the things that needs or these are the things that are needed to be addressed, no, or needed to be improved, no? So you have to list down these weaknesses. On the left side, you have to list down the opportunities, no? Ano yung mga opportunities na meron ka at ano yung mga threats o sino-sino yung mga threats na meron ka. Okay? Now, you have to mix, no, or to put a balance between the strengths and the opportunities. Both of them are positive, no? And you have to make the strengths and opportunities alternatives. You have to use your strengths to take advantage of opportunities. You cannot grab an opportunities if you are not qualified. Naintindihan? Hindi pwedeng kunin mo ang isang oportunidad kung hindi ka naman qualified. No, that is why you have to put a balance between the strengths and opportunities and provide alternatives. You have to use your best, no? You have to use your best strengths to take advantage of the best opportunities. No? Halimbawa kanina, no, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, I am very happy whenever I see students hosting events like this, no? Halimbawa, si MC, si host, yung dalawang host natin. They're good in speaking. No? Definitely, they cannot get an opportunity to be the host if they know to themselves that they're not good in speaking. No? Same goes with the other people. You cannot get something if you know yourself that you're not good with that particular thing or with that particular aspect. No? So ibig sabihin, baka pag hindi ako magaling dyan, hindi ko na siya gagawin. There are things that you have to improve so you can include that in your strengths. No? Maybe, mamaya babalikan natin si weaknesses, no? Bakit ganun, sir? Paano po kapag hindi ako magaling? Hindi ko na ba siya pwedeng improve? Again, as I mentioned, you are the very vulnerable. You are the most vulnerable individuals today, no? The teenagers, the youngsters or the young students like you, the high school students like you, are the most vulnerable individuals today. No, and sometimes our weaknesses became our opportunities or our weaknesses offer lots of opportunities. Anong ibig ko sabihin? You have to overcome weaknesses. And this includes series of practices, series of exercise. Kaya nga 'di ba sabi ni Thorndike, the law of exercise. You have to do repetition in order for you to be able to achieve or to be able to acquire a specific competency, no? You have to practice and practice. And these weaknesses of yours will give you limitless opportunities, no? Before, hindi ako marunong kumanta, no? But because of the trainings, lagi akong kumakanta sa karaoke, I want to believe na magaling ako kumanta, no? And there are so many opportunities, no? Nagpapasa ako sa tawag ng tanghalan, nagpapasa ako sa Wish 107.5, hindi nga lang ako tinatawagan. But these are opportunities for me, no? I was able to overcome my weaknesses. Dati hindi ako makahawak ng microphone. But because of Ma'am Danica, lagi niya akong pinapasaan ng, as in wala akong choice, di ba? Mamili ka, mapapahiya ka, o kakanta ka. We have to put something or we have to invest something to our weaknesses in order for these weaknesses to offer opportunities. No? Definitely, I cannot speak in front of you without the opportunities or without the weaknesses I had before. And still, I still have weaknesses as of today, and I am trying to put some alternatives to see the opportunities over these weaknesses. No? So, anong gagawin natin dito sa WO alternatives? So, weaknesses, opportunities, alternatives. First, you identify, di ba? Na-identify mo na yung weaknesses mo. Give one weakness and give one opportunity. After overcoming these weaknesses, ano kaya yung opportunity na pwedeng mag-open sa'yo? No? That is how you put alternatives. No? Next, threats. No? You have to list down again your threats. And kung titingnan natin sa table, ang magka-partner ay si strengths and threats. As I mentioned, these strengths will be, or you can use these strengths of yours to prove, not to other people, but to yourself, that you're able to avoid or to overcome these threats. There are times that we avoid threats because we can avoid them. No? Katulad ng mga tao na toxic, wag na lang natin silang pansinin. No? Threats sila. No? We can avoid that. But there are threats that we cannot avoid. May mga dumadating na threats na kahit anong gawin mo, hindi mo maa-avoid. No? And what you can do or how you can manage that is to go back with your strengths. You have listed so many strengths. No? Nilista mo na yung mga strengths mo. Go back with your strengths. Identify one strength, no, that you can use to prove to yourself that you can overcome these particular threats. No? And the last one, you have to minimize your weaknesses. Oh, nilista mo na yung weaknesses mo, you have to minimize your weaknesses and avoid threats. Paano yun? Kapag nabawasan daw yung weaknesses natin, that will only be the moment na mababawasan din ang threats. Kaya dumadami ang threats, di ba? Threats are external factors. Yan yung mga dumadating na lang na pagsubok sa atin. Bakit dumadating sila? Kasi weak tayo. No? So, the moment we lessen the number of weaknesses that we have, that will only be the time that the threats will be lessened. Okay? So, I had cited some quotations in this presentation to boost yourself, no? To boost yourself that the moment you identify these SWOTs the moment you identify these SWOTs, trust me, you will be able to love yourself better. You will be able to trust yourself better because you know yourself better. You cannot know yourself. No, you will never know yourself without knowing these SWOTs. I want to believe that we can all identify these SWOTs. Nobody but you is the best person to identify those SWOTs. Though there are people who can guide you, like your parents, your teachers, your friends, but you are the best person who can identify these SWOTs. No? So I had cited some quotations, famous quotations, that I hope may motivate you to finish your SWOTs. No? You cannot reach a goal without a SWOT. First, sometimes, according to Susan Gale, sometimes you don't realize your own strength until you come face-to-face with your greatest weakness. May mga bagay na hindi natin alam na magaling pala tayo, no? The moment we encounter our weaknesses, no? That is why I always tell to you that you have to put a balance between your strengths and the weaknesses. Sometimes, ini-ignore natin yung weaknesses natin. Ay, hindi ako magaling dyan, hindi ko na yan pag-aaralan. But the moment we encounter our weaknesses, that will only be the time that you will realize that you are good with that. When I was in elementary, I am good in math. I am poor in English. Flat 75 ako nung elementary. No? But the moment I realized that I need to study English in high school, that was only the time that I was able to identify that there are, of course, I am not the best teacher in English, but I was able to identify good competencies or competencies in English that I have. No, that I was not aware before because I was ignoring my English subject. I was ignoring my English only policy. Kaya pag may English only policy kayo sa English class, be happy. No? Because you're able to identify new words. You're able to identify goodness in you. You're able to not only develop. I want to believe that these competencies are something that are innate in us. No, nasa atin na yan, hindi lang sila nagigising. Natutulog lang yung mga competencies na yan kasi or hindi sila nade-develop because we never try to use them, no? So, another is don't expect to build up the weak by pulling down the strong. No? Hindi pwede no na maging magaling ka dahil hinihila mo ang iba pababa. No? Kaya nga 'di ba sabi ko sa inyo, the moment you recognize the weaknesses of others, it means you also own the same weaknesses. Kapag meron kang nababanggit na hindi magaganda sa ibang tao, ibig sabihin meron ka din nun. Because you can never pull other people down to reach you. Hindi ka magiging magaling kapag hinila mo ang iba pababa. No? Same goes with hindi ka magiging magaling sa isang bagay kung papabayaan mo yung bagay na magaling ka na. No? You have to make balance. Hindi pwedeng, halimbawa, athlete ka, no? You're poor in academic. Nag-focus ka sa academic, pero hindi ka naman napabayaan mo yung sports, dun ka nga magaling. You have to have balance, no? Everything in your academics, everything in this world has a balance, has an opportunity to make balance, no? So sabi ni Calvin Coolidge, don't expect to build up the weak by pulling down the strong. Next, when opportunity knocks, don't let fear hold you back. No? Ito yung gusto kong ma-realize nyo. Kapag dumating na ang opportunity, wag nang matakot. Open the door and embrace the opportunity that has come forth. No? Who knows the opportunities for you? You will never know that the opportunity is for you unless you try to open the door. No? Hindi mo malalaman na kaya mo kung hindi mo susubukan. That is according to abundancetapes3.com. Okay? Another, as cyber threats, as I mentioned, in the cyber world, no? Ngayong pandemic, you are open with so many cyber issues. Napakadami yung issue sa cyber, no? Sa computer, sa internet, no? Sa technological advancement, napakadaming threats. As cyber threats evolve, we need to evolve as well. No? Ito yung lagi na kaming mga teachers, especially sa the Aquino High School, and I want to believe that all teachers in the DepEd Manila, including your teachers, we believe in this principle. That as cyber threats evolve, we need to evolve as well. Diba? Hindi kami pwedeng magalit kasi inire-record nyo kami. Hindi kami pwedeng magsabi ng hindi maganda kasi screenshot nyo kami. Diba? Same with you. You have to think the same. Hindi ka pwedeng magsabi ng hindi maganda toward other people kasi baka, di ba, that is something that can be used against you. No? So always remember, according to Christopher Wray, that as cyber threats evolve, we need to evolve as well. Kung nagbabago ang panahon, magbago din tayo. We have to adapt. No? Hindi pwedeng napag-iiwanan tayo ng panahon. No? Kung nauso ang TikTok, dapat mag-TikTok na tayo. No? Kung nauso ang ganito, dapat marunong na din tayo somehow. No? Because who knows, 'di ba? Ngayon ang mga TikTokeries ay kumikita na. 'Di ba? Ang mga TikTokeries ay nag-earn na ng mas malaki pa sa regular na sahod nila. No? They were able to evolve. No? They were able to evolve. That is why they are earning too much, no? They use these threats as opportunities. Next, let me end by this, that according to Aristotle, a famous educational philosopher, he said that knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. No? You will never know other people unless you know yourself. You can never say anything good about other people unless you recognize goodness in you. Okay? So, other people will not give you value unless you give forth values to yourself. Kapag hindi mo pinahalaga ng sarili mo, they will not recognize your value. No? Kaya dapat, you have to know yourself first. No? Kapag sinabi nila na ganito ka at hindi ka naman ganyan, you know yourself better. That is why we are doing the SWOT analysis. No? Kaya tayo nag-SWOT analysis is to identify. No? The personal SWOT analysis is for us to assess our present situation, to adjust our SWOTs, and to know ourselves better. And in the same manner, we adjust, we give interventions, we plan for our own development. Okay? Again, according to Aristotle, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. If you know yourself, other things will be possible for you. Other things will be feasible for you. You cannot do an action without knowing yourself. No? You will be misleaded. Malilito ka kung hindi mo kilala ang sarili mo. 'Di ba? Sabi nila, you cannot give what you do not have. And definitely, you cannot wake up in the morning without knowing yourself. No? Hindi pwedeng pumasok ka sa sarili mo nang wala kang pagkakakilanlan. At hindi pwedeng kilala ka ng iba pero hindi mo kilala ang sarili mo. Dahil hindi ka makikilala ng iba unless kilala mo ang sarili mo. Again, this is your speaker, Milwin Esto. If you have questions, don't hesitate to raise your questions and I will try to answer your questions and inquiries to the best of my abilities. Again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Esto. Change is an inevitable part of community organizing. If you know how to take stock of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, you are more likely to plan and act effectively. And now, let us have our open forum. Fugosians, you may raise your hand to be recognized for your questions and clarifications. You can also use our chat box to give your questions.
MC, dear MC, if there are questions in the chat box, please read it for me kasi medyo mahina ang internet, hindi ko mabasa. Ha? Thank you.
Sige lang po, sir.
Yes, po.
Yes, Vel A, you're raising your hand.
Yes, sir. Marla po. I have one question for you, sir. How do you manage to evaluate your own personal SWOT analysis po?
Okay, that is a good question, no? Indeed, Fogosians are one of the best students in the DepEd Manila, no? Honestly, I was receiving positive feedbacks from Ma'am Danica that her students in Fogoso High School is one of her best students. You know, I managed my own personal SWOT analysis by being first, no? By being grateful for what I have. No? You cannot identify your strengths if you're not grateful. No? Grateful for the things that you have and grateful for the opportunities that are given to you. No? As I mentioned, the opportunities are and the threats are external factors. It would be easy for you to identify that because you do not expect those things. No? They're just offered to you, they're just given to you. No? So it would be very easy for you. No, but I always accept opportunities and threats. No, but before I address the threats, I will make sure that I will be able to get the opportunities first. No, and as I mentioned earlier, I address the threats by going back to my strengths. With your question, how do I manage my SWOT? You know, our SWOTs are changing time by time. As I mentioned earlier, the moment you achieve your goals, the SWOTs will be changed. Diba? Kaya doon sa SWOT process, yung number 5 is to repeat, no? To revise, to go back to number 1. Because the moment you reach number 5, you're able to reach number 5, it means that you're able to achieve your goal. No? At hindi pwedeng stagnant yung SWOT natin. Dapat, the moment you overcome your SWOT or your goal, magbabago na yung SWOT natin. And to be honest, there is no specific time because the goals are dependent, no? Depende ang goal, depende kung malaki ang goal mo, depende kung maliit ang goal mo. And the goals are something that you imagine, no? 'Di ba? You imagine of something good, you imagine of something positive. That is why you consider that as a goal, no? And as I mentioned, I manage my SWOT analysis by simply going back, no, or revising my SWOT the moment I overcome or I achieve a specific goal or a target. I hope I addressed your question. Other question?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I received such
We
satisfying answer.
Thank you, anak. Next we have Giler Samonte.
Hello po. Ito po yung question. Could any of our weaknesses prevent our unit from meeting our goals po, sir?
Yes. As I mentioned earlier, in the SWOT analysis, di ba nakalagay doon, the last part, ang magkapantay, si weakness at saka si threat. Definitely, if we are not able to we are not able to identify and address our own weaknesses, eventually these weaknesses will become as will become threats. No? These are external factors. The results of unaddressed weaknesses are the threats. Minsan, itong threats na ito, hindi natin namamalayan, dumadating siya kasi hindi natin nasusolve yung weaknesses natin. Okay? So my question to that is, yes, your weaknesses may become your threats the moment you fail to overcome or you fail to address these weaknesses.
Thank you po, sir.
Another question? Marie?
Yes, sir. For example po, meron po tayong kaibigan or kakilala na may mental health po or may problema sa mental health niya. Then, ang problem niya po is hindi niya po makita yung mga strength niya sa sarili niya. Or sa madaling salita po, wala po siyang nakikitang strength. Totally puro weaknesses lang po yung nakikita niya. Paano po natin sila matutulungan?
Okay. First, I would like to address, no, I would like to reiterate that all of us have mental stresses. No? We have our own mental health problems. No, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, it will, 'di ba, being an achiever or achieving your dreams is not about having numerous or best SWOTs, no? The way or the way you achieve something is dependent the way you manage your SWOTs, no? Yes, merong mga tao na hindi nila kayang i-identify yung strengths nila, no? Because they are bombarded with numerous judgments. Ito yung mga tao na puro negatibo ang natatanggap nila, no? May mga tao talagang ganyan, yung mga depressed, at hindi natin sila masisisi. Kasi yun yung araw-araw nilang nararanasan. Kaya nga merong mga mental health and psychosocial trainings and programs na binibigay sa inyo. Especially with you students. As I mentioned, you are the most vulnerable individuals. Kayo pinaka-vulnerable. Kaya may mga ganito tayong programa na mental health and psychosocial support programs ng SDRRM ay dahil para bigyang solusyon ang mga problemang iyan. To help you realize that even if there are so many things or negative things about you, still there are so many good things about you. The moment you're able to wake up in the morning is a positive thing. The moment you're able to say good morning is a possible thing. The moment you're able to smile. Sir, mahirap ngumiti. No? The moment you're able to understand something is already a strength. Kaya nga kanina, sa present ko sa inyo, napakadami nating strengths. At hindi lang yon ang strengths natin. No? As I mentioned, you have to know first, sa SWOT analysis, ang una nating inaalam ay strengths. Kasi kung hindi natin yan malalaman, ay matatalo nga tayo. Kaya merong mga nagsusuicide, kaya merong mga nagpapakamatay, na de-depress, because they're not able to identify their strengths. They failed identifying these strengths. No? Or maybe they're afraid to accept these strengths. No? Minsan kasi tayo, alam naman natin magaling tayo, pero hesitant tayong ipakita yung galing natin. No? Kaya meron tayong mga psychosocial training. Meron kayong mga teachers to help you, to guide you with that. Minsan lang talaga, actually ito yung common problem naming mga teachers. Minsan kasi hindi namin maintindihan ng mga bata. No? But if you will have an open mind and an open heart to tell to your teachers, to tell to your parents, or to tell to your friends your problems, minsan hindi nyo kailangan, di ba? Minsan kasi tayo, minsan ina-expect natin na kailangan natin magbigay ng payo o kailangan natin humingi ng payo. Minsan hindi ganon. Minsan itong mga tao na nakakaranas ng mental health problems, kailangan lang nila na makikinig. Hindi natin kailangan ng komento, hindi natin kailangan magbigay ng payo. Because we are not the right professionals to give advices. Hindi tayo, may mga tamang tao. Kaya nga ang mga teachers, kapag nagbigay kayo sa kanila, nagbibigay yan ng payo, pero hindi ng professional judgment, ng evaluation. Anong ginagawa ng teachers? Nililid kayo sa mga tamang tao kung saan nyo pwedeng erase yung mga concern nyo. Okay? So again, to young students like you, you are very vulnerable. Tulad na sinabi ko, kayo yung mga madaling ma-influensyahan. Now, we are influencing you to see the beauty in you. No? Halimbawa, ikaw, Marie, you are very beautiful. No? In and out. No? You have your own dress. You have your own house. No? Strength mo yon. No? You have your good internet connection. Strength mo yon. Diba? So there are so many things that you have to be grateful. No? You have to be thankful for. No? So we have to be thankful so that we can identify our strengths. Okay? Another question? Maureen Caballero?
Sir, how about you, sir? How did you pass for your weaknesses before? Can you share with us?
Okay, I was able to overcome my weaknesses because I was alone. No? Sometimes you don't have the help of others. Minsan, kapag mag-isa ka lang, napag-iiwanan ka na, you know, I received so many judgments when I was in high school, when I was like you. I was part of the honor rolls, pero hindi ako nabigyan. I was judged na ito lang ang mararating ko, na ito lang ako, ganito ako, ganyan ako. But I was able to overcome my weaknesses because of the threats. Tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, sometimes the threats will give you opportunities. And these opportunities are the springboard, no? The springboard to overcome your weaknesses. I was able to overcome my weaknesses because I was alone. As I mentioned earlier, mahirap lang ako. Ayaw akong paaralin ng mga magulang ko dahil gusto ko mag-teacher. I was able to overcome that because I was alone. Minsan wala tayong ibang papanigan kundi sarili na lang natin. Of course, we have to have faith with God, no? Or with the religion that we have. We have to be stick with our principles, with our philosophies. But sometimes, wala kang kakampi kundi sarili mo lang. And definitely, trust me, you will be able to overcome your weaknesses kapag mag-isa ka lang. Wala kang chance. No? Wala kang choice. Wala kang choice kundi overcome yon kasi mag-isa ka lang. Okay? Ngayon, sir, paano kapag pinanghihinaan ako ng loob? Go back to your strength. As I mentioned, go back to your biggest strength. Oh, when I was in high school, tingin ko, good-looking ako. No? Tingin ko, good-looking ako, so that is my biggest strength. So kahit anong weaknesses, alam niyo naman yan, kapag ang tingin mo sa sarili mo, maganda, pogi ka, diba, madami kang mararating. Maganda ang tingin sa'yo. Matatanggap ka sa trabaho agad, no? Though other people may not consider that I am a good looking, I want to accept to myself that that is one of my strengths, no? That is why I was able to overcome my weaknesses. So to you, no, ma-overcome niyo yung weaknesses nyo. First, kapag mag-isa na lang kayo, wala kayong choice. Second, go back to your strengths, no? Next. Other question? Meron pa ba?
Angela? This question question was from one of our YouTube viewers po, Joshua Quinto from Nine Makiling. A lot of people, most coming from youth, dream very big and want to achieve these dreams. But as time passes by, the number of hindrances get bigger and some cases, nawawalan na po ng gana yung tao. What is your advice po sa kanila?
Okay, thank you, no? First, talagang ang active ang mga student ng Fugoso High School, no? My advice to that is do not be limited with one goal. Do not be limited with your ambition. Sometimes our ambitions are not for us. Sometimes God has prepared more, no, more or better ambitions for us. When I was in high school, my dream is to become a Filipino teacher. No? My dream is to study at Philippine Normal University. Bakit hindi ako nag-Philippine Normal? First, kahit mataas ang grade ko, no, 'di ba? Hindi ako nakakuha ng scholarship sa Philippine Normal kasi hindi ako nakakuha ng honor, no? Because there are so many hindrances when I was in high school, including my teachers. Okay? So that is one, no? Another, my dream when I study at Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, there is a Filipino education major in Filipino course. But because, no? But because my score is for English, sa English ako nilagay. Kahit hindi ko naman gusto ang English talaga. No? But now that I am a language teacher, I am a teacher of English, I realized that there were given, no? There are opportunities given to me and there are still opportunities waiting for me. So my advice is, yes, as time goes by, may mga bagay na nakakahinder sa atin. There are so many things that would hinder us. There are so many things that would limit us because we are limited. No? We are limited with resources. You have to accept that. You do not own everything in this world. You are limited with resources, but you are limitless with ambitions. No? You are limitless with ambitions. Nobody will tell you that you have to aspire this one. That ito lang ang dapat mong marating. Ito lang ang mararating mo. We are limitless with ambitions. No? And to answer that question, do not be limited with one ambition. Do not be limited with your ambition. No? Of course, our ambitions are our guiding line to become successful in life. But who knows, there are better opportunities for you. No? Wag susuka, wag titigil. Okay? Do not be limited. There are so many things you can do. No? Kung hindi mo nakuha yan, kung may mga bagay na pumipigil, gawin lang. Ngayon, kung ginawa mo na ang lahat, hindi mo talaga nakukuha, gumawa ng iba pa. There are so many things, there are so many opportunities in this world. No? Maaring hindi ka swinerte sa pag-aaral, swinerte ka sa love life. Or vice versa. No? Maaring hindi ka swinerte sa love life, swerte ka sa pag-aaral, swerte ka sa career, no? Swerte ka sa family, may mga opportunities na nabibigay sa iyo, no? I took examination at UP Diliman, no? I passed the UPCAT, kaya lang hindi ako nabigyan ng magandang kurso, no? One of my dreams is to study at UP Diliman. No? Sabi ko kanina, my dream is to study at PNU. Another is to study at UP. I took examination both universities. Kaya lang, hindi ako doon napasok, sa PLM ako napasok. But I received so many opportunities in PLM. And now that I have the means, ginagawa ko ngayon na abutin yung mga bagay na hindi ko naman naabot. No, that is why if God will permit me to graduate this year, definitely I will pursue my PhD in UP Diliman. No? So, may mga bagay na hindi tayo nararating. Hindi ibig sabihin hindi na natin mararating, pwedeng na-delay lang. Kaya ang sabi ko, do not be limited with your ambitions. There are so many opportunities more than your ambitions. Okay? So, thank you for the question. Other question? If there are other questions pa? Yes, Erika Buesa, what is your question? Do we need to give up on something? If so, when are we going to give up? Okay. Honestly, I don't believe in giving up. But I believe in delays. I will never motivate you or encourage you to give up. For me, there is no such thing as giving up, but there are delays. What do I mean with that? Sometimes, ubus na ang strengths mo, nagawa mo na lahat ng pwede mong magawa sa SWOT. Kaya lang hindi mo pa talaga makuha. Baka hindi pa siya pwede sa'yo. No? Then try to achieve other opportunities. And when you reach other opportunities, maybe you can go back to the opportunities or to the dreams that you were not able to achieve. Tulad ng sinabi ko, wala akong pera nung college. Pinaaral ko ang sarili ko sa paaralang hindi ko gusto. But I am very thankful with PLM. PLM is good school. That is one of the best school. I am very thankful. Kaya lang, hindi ngayon yung gusto kong school. No? But now that I have the means, no, I have the means to support my own education for my master's, I go back. No, I go back to my original SWOT, to my original dream. No? And that is what I want to tell you. No? Dati nung nasa elementary ako, hindi ako nagka-honor. Sabi ko, one day magsasalita ako sa stage. Ako ang magbibigay ng speech. Nag-aral ako ng mabuti ng high school. Ayaw talaga sa akin ng mga teacher ko. Hindi pa rin ako nakapasok sa honor. Hindi ako hindi ako nag-speech. Graduate ako ng college, hindi pa rin ako nag-speech. No? Pero now in this career, I have so many platforms to reach that dream. No? So with regards to the question of when do we need to give up, definitely I don't believe in giving up. I believe in delays. May mga bagay na para sa'yo pero hindi dumadating sa takdang panahon, pero darating yan. No? Ngayon, kung hihintayin mo ang pagdating niya at wala kang ibang gagawin, hindi yan darating. No? Gumawa ka ng ibang bagay na mas makabuluhan para kapag nagawa mo na yon at pag nagawa mo na yon, sakali, no? Na yung natutunan mo mula doon o magbukas yun ng bagong oportunidad para balikan mo yung mga hindi mo nagawa. Okay? Thank you for that. Another question?
Thank you so much po. Thank you so much, Mr. Milwin. And thank you so much, Fugotians. We appreciate your active participation in this webinar. And we hope that you have learned something today and with our great research speaker for today.
So, at this point, we would like to call our hardworking teacher tree from the Senior High School Department, Dr. Adonis F. Olarbe, to read the citation of the certificate to our source speaker for today and to give us the closing remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give him a round of virtual applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me read first the citation. Department of Education, National Capital Region, Schools Division Office, Manila, Valerian E. Fugoso Memorial High School, Manila Boys Town Complex, Parang Marikina City, award the Certificate of Recognition to Mr. Milwin A. Esto for sharing his skills and expertise as a resource speaker in a virtual MHPSS webinar series with the theme Hitting the Goal Amidst Pandemic, a Guide for Goal Setting. Day 2 topic, Forming Your Personal SWOT Analysis on June 29, 2021 via Google Meet. Given this 29th day of June 2021, Bernal A. Lamban, Principal.
Thank you. Thank you, Fugoso High School, for the opportunity. No, and I am looking forward to working, no, not maybe in your school, but to working with all of you and to seeing these young students, these high school students, no, overcoming your limitations. No, the world has offered so many, no, so many opportunities for you, and trust me, you are one of the best students in Manila, as cited and as mentioned by your teachers in Fugoso High School. And as an educator, I want to believe in that, no? That you are one of the best students. And definitely, you will be able to hit the goal amidst this pandemic. So thank you for the opportunity to share. Thank you to the educative community of Fugoso High School, headed by Sir Lamban. And thank you to your SDRM coordinator and to the MAPE department.
To our very energetic and very dynamic school principal, Mr. Bernal A. Lamban. Good afternoon, sir. To the organizer of this webinar, Ma'am Danica Cincuenco, and the rest of your team, good afternoon. To all the students, likewise to all the teachers who are part of this event, good afternoon. It is my great honor and pride and also pleasure to be part of this webinar series entitled Hitting the Goal Amidst Pandemic, a Guide for Goal Setting, which is the day two topic, focusing all about personal SWOT analysis. It is very important for you guys to know what are your strengths, your weaknesses, and opportunities and threats in your life, not only as a student, but also a human being in this world. We have to realize that living in this world is very important, knowing about your strength and also your weaknesses, so that your weaknesses will be the guide for you to develop your good strength, and your opportunity and identifying your threat would be a guide for your good future. Once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. May God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Olarve. And Fogosians, our attendance and evaluation links is already posted in our screen. You can use your phone to scan our QR code for an easy access for the link. Please be careful in filling in the information as our electronic certificate will only depend on the responses that you have provided. Thank you so much and thank you for being with us today.
Once again, thank you so much, Fogosians, and thank you so much, Mr. Milwin Esto, for such a fruitful and productive talk with you. So, Fogosians, see you tomorrow, same time, same YouTube channel. And,
And this has been Francesca Lorraine Sifuring,
and I am Gilliard Timothy M. Samonte, the
the
Master
Masters of
of
Ceremonies,
Ceremony, signing
now
off.
signing off.